Okay, topic of this video. I can do it spontaneous style like I have 2 other videos today. It is my body type. So I am female. I am a woman. I always have been. Born this way. Am this way. Will stay this way. And so my body type, why am I taking off my sweatshirt? Because I am what is called a broad-shouldered body type. So that means my shoulders are very broad. So you can think of it as like they're square. So a lot of people have muscle right here, like between their neck and their shoulders, and it'll kind of go up here. I don't. That's kind of a signature of a broad-shouldered body type, is the lack of muscle here, and then broad shoulders, and I have narrow hips. So like if I hang my hands at my side, they don't touch my hips or anything like that. So it's an angular frame, and I have a large chest cavity, I have big lungs, and I'm moderate size bust. And so why does that matter? It matters because in women's clothing, a lot of women's clothing do not take into account the female broad-shouldered body type. And so I get bunching in clothes. So I will get bunching here in clothing and across my bust, because the bust itself wouldn't be a problem, but it's the broad shoulders that stretch the shirt out. It's already tight. And then I have a large rib cage. So my bust and my rib cage will be big too. So I'll get like puffing, especially if it's a button shirt, like up and down just across the bust line. And then on the shoulders, there's usually extra fabric, because on more typical body type that has muscle here, this extra fabric would be on top of the muscles, but because I don't have that muscle, it bunches. And so how have the fashion industry is not all-inclusive and stuff like that. I mean, that's been a large part of my life, is just trying to incorporate plus-size women, and those are like, that's a good portion of society. Not many people have the broad-shouldered body type. It's not as common as other body types, and it is particularly common in Scandinavian countries. So I'm a quarter Norwegian by ancestry, and I think, if I'm remembering it right, it was like, so Nordic countries and Scandinavian countries, and then I think it was like Austria or something like that, and it comes from many generations of physical and manual labor. It's kind of adapted to I've done manual labor with women who don't have this body type, and I don't actually run into the same sort of muscle fatigue and pains that they do. And I don't have many muscle injuries because I don't actually have the muscles that connect, like a lot of people do, their neck and their shoulders. And so when that's not there, it's easy to not injure it because it's just not there. And so it's a very good body style for manual labor and physical labor. And that is the history of my family. And so yeah. And let's see, so fashion, I guess, long story short, on the roundabout way, going through plus size and that kind of thing, fashion does not include, at least at this point in time, in the women's arena, female arena, clothes that incorporate the broad-shouldered body type. So how do I dress? And this has largely impacted my lifestyle. I'll usually get clothes that are too big, because then they can actually fit my shoulders. If I get something that fits like my torso, it won't fit my shoulders. So I usually have to buy 1 to 2 sizes too large for it to even fit my frame. And then I get weird bunching up on top of my shoulders or across my bust. So what I have found is unisex clothing or men's clothing fit me, because they don't have, men tend to have broader shoulders as well, broader shoulder bone structure. And so, yes, I guess one could call the broad-shouldered female bone structure a masculine body type, masculine bone structure. And so, though I will say, men tend, even with this hair, and I've had short hair, men tend to guess that I am a female, that I am woman, so women tend to have more of a problem guessing it right. I don't know if that means anything, but just my observations and when people refer to me with pronouns and stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily call that, it might be people applying stereotypes to me, but that doesn't mean they're discriminating against me. I would just use caution in jumping on people on that one. Not everybody has met females with broad shoulders and a buzz cut and narrow hips and that kind of thing. And so finding clothing can be difficult, so I do unisex is kind of my go-to, or 1 to 2 sizes too large clothing in females clothing or males clothing. There have literally been times where I can find nothing that fits for, like, especially professional setting female clothing. I can, but it tends to be higher end that actually take into account the broader shoulder. And so I can't always afford that, so then I might be buying male clothes to actually just fit my shoulders. I wouldn't necessarily, it's kind of oppressive, but I think the fashion industry has so much to think about and so many body types to incorporate that I'm not going to go railing on them about not incorporating broad-shouldered female types, because we're small enough in number that it's kind of like I've learned to adapt other ways, and I find clothes that are comfortable. I don't find that so much in female clothing. It has gotten better with time though, and I think I found the unisex tends to be better. And then when I need to get like a male shirt, and then female pants, I have a big booty, so female pants tend to be better than male pants. And so it's though I have narrow hips, which not all female clothing account for narrow hips either. So that's the broad shoulder body type. So I've discussed like kind of the lifestyle. Clothing is the biggest impact. Manual labor, that's kind of where this comes from in the first place. And it's easier. I don't run into muscle injury as much as people who don't have this. So in that way, it's kind of nice having this bone structure, body type, body build. And what's probably, and it seems if you're not a woman or not a drag queen or someone who wears bras or stuff like that, you might not appreciate this, though there are some tank tops that males wear that maybe they'll understand this. So like, I don't have the muscle, I've said this before, between the neck and the shoulder, so I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive. But what's really nice about that is, especially when I'm working out and stuff like that, the clothing here, so like a sports bra or a normal bra, showing you 2 different types of straps, they do not slide off my shoulder, which is awesome. That is something, and it's like a little thing in life, but it's a little thing in life that I relish and I really enjoy. And I know so many women and some men with tank tops, but it's like not so much a problem because usually men get kind of tighter tank tops, so that's not an issue. But they will slip. That's something I've seen with men, is this. With women, the straps might fall off the shoulder. With men, the straps might slide a bit. I don't have those problems because I don't have the muscles that the straps, or we'll just call them straps, slide or fall off. So that's really cool. So yeah, it's like just one of those random things that I thought I'd bring up, because when I was growing up, it was a huge deal because I could never find clothes that fit, that were women's clothing. And then it's like I get made fun of because I'm not wearing women's clothing, and it's like, I can't wear women's clothing. It literally does not fit my shoulders. So growing up, it was a very sensitive subject, tough topic for sure. But I've kind of found some sort of equilibrium and stability, so it's not as difficult a topic anymore.